To have a career tomorrow, you have to start building the skills today. Just in case you're new around these here parts, my name is Dana. I'm a USA Today bestselling author. I'm a developmental editor, and I am the chief storyteller at Danger Tales. I help romance writers write addictive novels and build profitable publishing careers. And in this video, I feel like it's gonna be an in and out because I did not have my video edited for this week, but I didn't want to miss. And so even though I'm coming in super late, it's still necessary. And so as I sat and I thought about you, I thought about one of the excuses or reasons or thoughts that I hear the most in clarity calls, and that I hear before students decide to join either DTW or one of our programs like our mentorship or the inner circle, which is basically circling around. This is something they want to do later. They want to write a novel later. If they're anything like me, I thought I would be writing novels for my retirement, which means I still had some time, right? But what I've realized as a book coach and also as a writer is that to have that career later, you have to start building those skills now. And that, for many people, is more than what they realize. That you don't realize how much you lean on either natural talent or desire or your muse until it's time for you to sit down and write a full novel. When you start the practice of that, when you start the practice of writing regularly, writing towards one story, developing one story, that's when you realize that there is a lot more to writing a novel than having a good idea. Because even a good idea, honestly, will not save you or save a story. And so, in this video, I want you to think about what are the skills that you need to develop now to have that career later or to have that opportunity later. Whether it is idea generation, how do you take an idea and turn it into a story? Whether it is plotting, character development, story structure. A lot of people always think about marketing and getting the books into the hands of readers, but they don't give as much thought to writing the actual book, which is insane to me. I will admit that as someone who came from marketing first, like I say that professionally, I came from marketing, but I wrote stories even as a kid. I used to love writing short stories as a kid. So I've been writing my entire life. But professionally, I was a marketer first. So I've heard that for forever. I started helping to market and promote and get authors placed. So I get it. And people think that is the hardest part, which I'd object, but whatever. But what they underestimate is how much work and how many words that you need to get under your belt to feel comfortable and confident in your writing skin. Of how many books and how many words that it takes you to get a series idea that you like, or to feel comfortable in the way that you write your intimacy scenes, or to be confident in the way that you plot your novels, or to even know what elements you need as a writer to sit down and start writing the novel. And all of those things really over time can be iterations. You don't know all of it at once. I have found pretty comfortably that it usually takes anywhere from 3 to 5 books to feel even a little bit human. Now, some people count finished manuscripts. I would say, if you can, 3 to 5 projects that have seen the light of day. that someone else has read, that you have published. Because there's something else when it comes to interacting, engaging with third parties about your work that helps you to develop and shape what you do and how you market and how you present and what elements really truly feel like your brand. So if we took all of this and sort of put it together, if it takes you roughly 3 to 5 projects, finished, complete, out in the world, let's just hit in the middle 4. It takes you 4 projects. And let's say, because you've never done it before, your first manuscript, let's say all of it from beginning to end, from rooter to tutor, takes you about a year and a half before you get everything done, maybe 18 months. I think that's on the long end, but that is a very common number, a good average for you to go through the editing cycles, to get everything the way that you want, to get your book cover, to get formatting, all of that. Let's say then we're knocking on a little bit under 2 years. That's 1 book. Multiply that times 4. Now, in theory, by the time that you get to the 4th one, you're an old pro. You move a little bit faster. You probably have been ideating while you was writing the last couple of books. You started sort of putting together notes before you even started. So when you actually started, maybe you went from 2 years to roughly 7 or 8 months, or 6 months, or less. But still, adding that up on the low end would still mean 3 to 4 years if you're just an average writer. 3 to 4 years. Now, that means those books, especially if you're not doing it with I'm just going to say a good team, or you're not working with a coach, and you're still finding your way around, and you're still learning about reader expectations, and you're still understanding more about your genre, and you're still needing to read, we're going to add some more time in there. So let's just say, to really get your legs underneath you and to get solid ground underneath you, 5 years. 5 years. If you wait until you're ready, until the time, you're 5+ years late. And we're not even factoring in, most people don't do this full time. Most people have a job, they have kids, they have responsibilities, so that time is stretched, especially if you have young kids or if you have very active kids and you are the chauffeur, the cook, you do the lawn, come on, we know what that list looks like. That time can take you even longer, because you need more time, because you have less day-to-day time to be able to compound to the time that you need to give to that project. And there's nothing wrong with it. And it's actually very normal. But this is why I say, to have the career that you want tomorrow, you have to start building the skills today. You have to start writing today. You have to start outlining today. You have to start learning your reader expectations today. You have to start putting in the work today so that your future self will thank you for putting in that time. It also means that you won't feel any kind of way, right, if it takes you a little bit longer, because you're giving yourself time. And it's a win-win situation. Because, y'all, I'm over here working on an art project. Because you have time to do it, and time to get feedback, and time to grow, and time to have cycles in your editorial process, and time to develop your series, and time to have a few books in the bag before you even think about releasing. Or if you want to traditionally publish, well, you need time to shop. Or you need time to find an agent, time for them to shop, time for them to find the publisher that you like and that you want your book to go to, etc. Like, all of this requires, say it with me, time. And your future self will thank you if you start now. What does now look like? Starting writing on a project. Start short. Not a short story, if you're really asking me, but starting something short so that you can begin the process and treat this like a kid that is learning to ride a bicycle with training wheels. And we can do something with that manuscript. But it is the beginning to sit down and figure out who you are in the written word, who you are as a storyteller, and giving yourself the time to stretch and grow and mold and to develop into the version of yourself that you envision when you think of yourself as an author. This is what we do in DTW. We learn these lessons, but we don't just learn them, but we apply them to you, your manuscript, your career. And we do it with accountability, community, resources, and honestly, we have a whole lot of fun. You can find out information in the description box, and I will see you all really, really soon. Y'all, you could have been, I always feel like Jay-Z, you could have been anywhere in the world. But I'm glad you're here with me, and I'm glad you spent this time with me. So go to the comments and let me know, how are you preparing yourself for the career that you want tomorrow? And listen, I know tomorrow is not like tomorrow, but in the future, what are you doing today so that your future self can thank you? And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments. As always, I read them all. I will see you all really, really soon. Take care. And as always, happy writing. Goodbye.